Today I'm going to show you how to check a flame sensor on some of the ream furnaces. The procedures used here are pretty much the same that can be found on all furnaces. Some are easier than others, but it's all fundamentally the same. Especially if you have where the furnace, the burner's light, then shut off. This is one of the possible problems that you can have with it. I've already got the power turned off at our disconnect switch down there on the screen. Next thing we'll do, lift off the burner compartment panel, and now we have access to where we have the burners. The ream furnaces, you'll also need to remove the blower compartment panel off to expose that. It helps because of the location of the flame sensor. Now I'm going to have to move the camera around to get the best angles, but you'll be able to see what's going on with it. Alright, we have our burners here. We'll zoom in. You see the plate that sits there right above the gas valve, or right under the gas valve I should say. The flame sensor, if you'll notice that orange wire going underneath the burners, right here is what leads to the flame sensor. What we're going to do is we'll first want to test to see if anything is going on. Then we'll proceed to remove and clean this flame sensor. So, I've already made life a little easy for me by giving a call for heat at the thermostat. When you say call for heat, we're talking turn the thermostat up above the room temperature to ensure that the furnace will come on. You won't need any jumper wires or anything like that to try to make it come on. Plus, especially when the furnace is in the basement, this will make life a lot easier. So, we'll need to have a meter. I like to have my trusty one right here. Bam, this little neat little thing there. As long as you set it on the UADC setting, which is microamps DC. You want to put it in series with the flame sensor. I'll show you how to do that here in a second. What it comes down is once you have that, the possibility of some pliers to reach under there. You can unplug it. I like to use the little alligator clips, those little portions right there, so that way they can clip right on there just fine. So then one other important tool you need, the 1/4" nut driver. Ooh, make sure it's got a magnetic tip. That'll make life so much simpler. So let's start. You want to go here with some pliers here. Disconnect that like this. As you can tell with that, you have the wire free. You'll want to just simply plug this in to the wire portion like that. This one, at least with that little alligator clip, you can kind of get contact established like this with it under here. I know you're going, we can't see that. I will show you here in just 1 minute on what to do with that. Or you can go with the standard probe like this underneath that burner. I know everybody's going, we can't see, we can't see, we can't see. Okay, got the camera more portable here. We're going to try to look under that burner section. You see that little solderless terminal tab, the male tab sticks out there where my nut driver is pointing? That is where you'll want to put the wire. there's the 1/4" drive screw right here that my nut driver is on. Okay, those are the 2 points that you need for access on there. And while we're down here, we're going to look at the heat exchanger right quick. I know, earthquake camera moving, I know, it's going like that. Plus with the ream furnaces, these inducer motors are notorious for having little cracks on them for this particular model. Which this is what an F0499, 4th week of 1999 is when this furnace was made. As if you have the inducer motor like this and a service technician's at your house and says it's cracked, very common. The silver one looks more like just straight aluminum metal with no coating on it. Those do not crack as bad. So I'm just going to try zooming in. I bought the nice camera here. A little bit of soot, which is perfectly normal. Let's see how well it zooms. It's thinking. When we really stop and look, no cracks are really noticeable anywhere up front. Keep in mind, cracks in a heat exchanger are not an indication that you have carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide is produced from incomplete combustion. This furnace is a little dirty. We can see a little bit of dirt, soot and stuff around like this. If we go in the blower compartment, yes, the life of an HVAC technician gets interesting with the things we see. Yes, this is fairly dirty. Looks like on this furnace might have a somewhat new motor on there. Nobody taped over the capacitor, which is good. Also with these Molex plugs right here. Sometimes on these particular models of ream furnaces, it goes straight through and it gets right there. They tend to get a little dirty, which gives bad wire connections, all that stuff. And it can cause the furnace to act up. This is what I'll refer to as the board. Some people call it the brains. Proper term is integrated furnace control, or the IFC. So let's get to checking on that little flame sensor. Alright, we're going to go. Now I'm going to do my normal way how I like to check the flame sensor. I like to use this. It's just a little double piggyback connector. I like to just clamp it into the alligator clip. Pull it down like this, and right on that terminal make a connection here. Just like that. And I know somebody's probably wondering, why can't we see it? Well, we will. We'll create a little earthquake camera action. Right? Earthquake, yes, I know. And you can see kinda how it's connected right there. Just like that on the flame sensor. The meter is set on what setting? That's right, microamps DC. When you look at it, like on mine, it'll say a UA DC microamps DC. We already have a call for heat on the thermostat, just like this. So we're going to fire it up. Just have to remember to hit the door switch. That's found on here. And if you're going, where's the door switch? Give me a minute. and I will try to have that figured out for you. Actually, if you see, probably not, the little box where my hand is at, that will be it. I know, we're going, we can't fully see, can't see, I know. Right there. Blower door switch, which is a safety. Click went the igniter. That orange glow, that's just a hot surface igniter. And we fired up. This flame sensor is picking up pretty good reading, really good reading. Key thing is you want to wait until all the blower motor kicks on, all the electronics, everything like that. I've seen them drop out. Blower has clicked, we're on. 3 inches or 3 microamps DC, very well. Nice blue flame right there. Everybody can kind of see it. Maybe. How's that? Yay, right? So, this one doesn't need cleaning. We're going to do it anyway. I like to just turn the gas valve off like this. Meaning, when you have a hot furnace, you just shut it off, the heat exchanger stays hot, you will pop limits. It takes longer for everything to do what it's supposed to do. So we're just going to do it this way. Bam. Hit our disconnect switch on the side, just like that. Ream doesn't get too much on here. Oh. Now you can see why I say magnetic. That way you can get the hold of things and be able to do things as needed. These will sometimes work. Get a hold of it. Just bring it a little closer. Sometimes just have the wire still hooked up can make a difference with it. And that is our flame sensor. I don't hear enough oohing and ahhing here. It's going down the stairs. How's that? Yes. Some people, the controversy comes across, what's the best way to clean it? Some will say $1 bill. I'll say if you got to use $1 bill, use a $100 bill. It's 100. That means it's 100 times better than $1, right? Scotch-Brite. That's what I like to use for a lot of stuff. Sandpaper, no. Sandpaper doesn't work too well. Take it. You don't want to touch it because the oil's on your hands. Can cause a problem. I just fold it around. Just like this. Pinch it in there. Spin it around. It's like a little helicopter taking off type of thing. Get it nice and clean. Not too bad on it there. I'm working backwards on the screen, so if you're wondering why am I going like this, come try and make sure it's in the shot. When you flip the screen on these cameras, go backwards. Now, there's going to be one thing that nobody ever likes to double check with it. One thing nobody ever thinks of.